January 4th, 1999, Monday Night Raw. The main event is a brutal no disqualification match for the WWE Championship. On one side, you got the corporate golden boy, The Rock. On the other side, the ultimate battered underdog Mick Foley, Mankind. The entire arena is completely losing its mind. Ringside is packed with DX and the corporation actively beating the living hell out of each other. And right when it looks like Mick Foley is about to get screwed out of the title again, Stone Cold Steve Austin hadn't been seen on television in nearly a month. There was zero warning, no floating AR graphics, no corporate text flashing on the screen, just a single jagged sound effect of breaking glass. Now, just imagine if that historic business altering moment happened today, and instead of that glass shattering, we got something like this. Yeah, talk about a vibe killer. Okay, let's play a quick game to see just how deep this problem actually goes. I'm gonna play the first 2 seconds of 3 legendary theme songs back to back. No names on screen, no match footage, just the raw audio cue. Drop your guesses in the comments right now as you hear them. If you didn't go 3 for 3, congratulations on actually touching grass and having a real life. But for the rest of us hardcore marks, we didn't even have to blink, because back in the day, a WWE entrance wasn't just a walk to the ring, it was straight up religious experience. So, what was the secret? Why is it that we can still remember those legendary stars just by a single opening note? Or maybe the real question we should be asking is, what actually makes a wrestler legendary in the first place? Let's look at the anatomy of a superstar. Historically, a legendary professional wrestler is built on 3 unbreakable pillars: the gimmick and character, the in-ring ability, the entrance, the ultimate presentation that packs the first 2 pillars together and sets the wrestler as a superstar before the match even starts. Because look, if on one hand we have modern entrances that feels like absolute garbage, we also have elite exceptions like Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Finn Balor. A truly legendary entrance is never just a single isolated scene. It is a highly calculated 3-part theatrical production that has to hit with absolute precision, and it all starts with the soundtrack. Let's flip the script and contrast modern corporate sanitization with the golden era of wrestling anthems. Listen to how the entire atmosphere shifts with just one single note. Chills instantly. Or how about this one?
You think you know me?
See, that's right there. It's not just a song. That is character's literal soul captured in audio form. When that glass shattered for Stone Cold, or that guitar riff hit for Edge, or that gong ran out for Undertaker, it felt like an absolute emergency. It was psychological conditioning at its absolute finest. The music didn't just accompany the wrestler, it defined them. It told the audience exactly who was walking down that ramp, what their motivations were, and exactly how much hell they were about to raise.
I said, give me a hell yeah!
Back then, WWE themes weren't outsourced to generic music productions house looking to cut corporate cost. They were meticulously crafted by real legendary composers, most notably the absolute goat of sports entertainment music, Jim Johnston. Jim Johnston didn't just write catchy hooks, he built emotion into the sound. He would sit down with the talent, look at how they walked, understand their character's psychology, and bake that identity directly into the track. When he wrote for The Rock, he gave him that cocky, electrifying bass line. When he wrote for Mankind, he used crashing, chaotic, discordant notes to perfectly match a broken psyche. Even in the era right after him, with CFO, you still got absolute crowd conducting anthems like Seth Rollins' visionary theme. or Shinsuke Nakamura's absolute banger in NXT. But today, in the modern landscape, we are far too often subjected to generic, interchangeable track that loop every 30 seconds. There is no build-up, no storytelling, and zero identity. It's just a wall of sound with a forced catchphrase shouted at the beginning,
It's Tiffy time!
just to force a cheap crowd reaction because the music itself can't do the heavy lifting. And that is exactly where the system is failing the talent. You can lace up your boots, you can have 5-star classic, and you can cut a killer promo on the mic. But if the music that introduces you to the world feels empty, the audience is going to treat you like an afterthought. If WWE truly wants to create larger-than-life legends, again, the music has to change. It has to stop being background music for a corporate presentation. The music has to make us feel something again. But hey, maybe I am just trapped in nostalgia. Drop a comment below who has the absolute worst theme song on the modern roster right now, and who is the only superstar whose music actually makes you jump out of your seat. Which brings me to the next part. On paper, this was a simple gesture, but what made it a legendary, unforgettable visual was the pyro. The explosions were so loud you could literally feel the heat radiating through your television screen. Before Big Dave even took a single step down that ramp, he didn't just look like a wrestler, he looked like a walking, talking weapon of mass destruction. See, back in the days, pyro wasn't just a budget line item. It was a core part of character's narrative. Think about Kane.
Oh my God, wait a minute, it's Paul Bear!
When those ring posts exploded with red fire, it wasn't just a visual trick. It told you the literal gates of hell just opened. When Goldberg walked straight through a cascading wall of real sparks, breathing in the raw smoke, it told your brain, this man is bulletproof. But what's the major weakness today? In the current product, true pyro is mostly reserved for the top 3 stars or saved exclusively for WrestleMania. Everybody else, they get standard, corporate, approved LED lighting cues. If the company treats a superstar entrance like a mid-tier corporate presentation, why on earth should the audience treat them like a larger-than-life legend? But another massive problem comes down to how we actually visually experience the show. This is the actual canvas where an entrance is painted, the camera work and the Titantron. Think about the Attitude or Ruthless Aggression eras. When a wrestler's music hit, what did you actually see? On that big screen above the stage, you got a custom edited badass highlight reel. It was a minutely engineered hype video showing that specific superstar absolutely demolishing people stylized to match their exact vibe. If The Undertaker came out, the arena was dropped into pitch black and deep purples. It looked like a movie scene. It was pure theater. Today, completely wiped out, replaced by a giant, sterile wall of blinding LED screens. Instead of cinematic video package that sells a character, WWE now just plasters a superstar's name in a giant, flat 3D font across a pixelated screen. The arenas are completely washed out in bright, generic house lights because WWE wants the crowd to look pretty on TV. But when everything is blindly bright and perfectly clean, you completely kill the gritty, larger-than-life drama. And don't even get me started on the camera angles. Remember the low-angle tracking shots? The camera operator would literally get down on the floor looking up at the wrestler as they march down. Today, they aren't framing the talent like superheroes anymore. They are framing the set as a star of the show. An entrance isn't just a walk to the ring. It is initial spark. It's the exact moment a normal athlete is supposed to morph into something mythical. Sheamus' famous Celtic warrior theme sets him up for being a warrior-like figure, ready to unleash his brutal assault. What WWE did was not expected, changing legendary theme with 10 beats of the burden, absolute destroying established persona. We've seen one more example, Kit Wilson. New theme works because it perfectly matches his over-the-top character and instantly tells the audience who he is in the second the music hits. Unlike many modern WWE themes, it feels unique and memorable instead of generic background music. The catchy intro, crowd interaction, and flashy presentation makes the entrance stand out immediately. It proves that a wrestler doesn't always need a cool song, they need a theme that fits their identity. That's why Kit Wilson's presentation suddenly feels more entertaining and recognizable. You aren't just modernizing the product, you are actively killing the magic that creates icons. The talent is here, the athleticism is higher than it's been ever. But until WWE realizes that a superstar needs to make us feel something before the bell even rings, the modern era will keep struggling to build true, immortal legends. If this video brought back some massive nostalgia or made you look at modern production a little differently, do me a huge favor, smash that like button, share this video with a fellow wrestling mark, and hit that subscribe button to join the channel. It seriously helps the channel grow. Netflix era really need fixes. If you haven't checked out my video, please go for it. Until then, keep wrestling!